The big story tonight is more winter weather. Snow fell for most of the afternoon and into the evening rush hour, and once it started sticking to the roads, travel got tricky. There were dozens of crashes.
Schools are already closed for tomorrow, so we are constantly updating that closure list that you see at the bottom of your screen. You'll also want to go to WAVY.com to see that as well. How are the conditions out there right now? That's the question.
Yes, let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Don Slater for that information. Don, what are we looking at?
We're looking at icy roads, basically. I do think they're going to be better by tomorrow after the sun comes up, but there are likely to be patches of frozen roads throughout the area. Here's a look at what's been going on. Just in the past couple of hours, we have had one last little patch of snowfall move northward through the south side of the Hampton Roads area, through parts of Hampton, kind of clipped Hampton, and is headed toward the eastern shore, but it's falling apart. But for a time, it did produce some brief heavy snow. In fact, I went outside when I had a minute, and this is about 10:10, just to verify that the snow was there. And I thought, well, I might as well get a picture of it as long as we're looking at it. So you can see, again, it was heavy snow falling at the time, and it was supposed to be flurries today. And obviously, we ended up with 1 to 2 inches of snowfall through the area. But more importantly, the big stuff, what's coming up. Forecast models have not locked in on how much we're going to get and where it's going to be. Early model run from this morning. This is from this morning's model run, and it completes at about 1-2 in the afternoon. It had anywhere between 3 inches all the way on up to 6 1/4, and even more along the state line and in northeast North Carolina. Now, this short range, the short term, and in terms of a short view of things, just for the Hampton Roads cities, this came in a little bit later on. Here's where things are: 3 1/3, 4.2, and a little bit less into the area, a little bit more modeled, a little more here, a little more here. So again, it's still predicting enough snow to really shut us down coming up tomorrow night and Thursday. And now this one came in at about 10:45, and it was completed enough to give us an idea of what this model thinks. And it's thinking a little bit less, 2.5 up to about 3.5 inches of snow. But you put all the forecast models together, and you end up with this: 4 to 6 inches of snow, 3 to 4 inches of snow, and there could be a little bit more in places. So temperatures 24 to 28. Roads going to stay icy. We're going to melt the snow off the roads coming up really by the noon hour tomorrow, and then we could see the biggest snowfall of the season Wednesday night and Thursday morning. We'll have more on what's going on with our forecast, including that'll be coming up.
And our team coverage begins in North Carolina. A fair amount of snow in Elizabeth City.
Let's go live now to 10 on your side's Liz Palka. Liz, on WAVY News 10 at 10, you said the roads were looking pretty good. Still the same there now?
Yeah, they still are looking pretty good, Nicole and Tom. I will say rain just started up again here in the last few minutes. I know that crews here in this area are worried about this turning into freezing rain and what conditions that could cause for drivers. But let's show you Route 17 here in Elizabeth City. You can see that it really doesn't look too bad. There is some slush that is forming in the center of the road. NCDOT crews treated the roads with brine before the weather turned earlier this afternoon and have focused on clearing roads since then. Pasquotank Camden County Emergency Management says one thing they have been concerned about are those icy conditions overnight. Again, especially with that prediction of freezing rain continuing through the night. DOT says they have crews working overnight, and another group will pick up tomorrow as they continue to prepare for the next wave of winter weather. Now, drivers we spoke to say they have done a good job so far. All these crews, in fact, we see a plow going by right now. Here's what the drivers had to say.
They're taking care of them really good, the state and the county, and really scraping them off and keeping them pretty clean. So other than that, they look really good.
Tonight's one thing, but Thursday with the snow they're calling for, we're supposed to get, I mean, we live off of a main road, so our roads will stay bad for a week.
So here is NCDOT's plan for Wednesday. Crews are working overnight shifts. As the roads start to dry, they will put brine down again. First, they'll target primary routes, and then those secondary routes. They are also refilling the salt brine trucks in anticipation for snow and winter weather later in the week. In Elizabeth City, Pasquotank, and Camden County schools are all closed tomorrow. Those county and city offices will be open, but right now they're operating on a 2-hour delay. Live in Elizabeth City, I'm Liz Palka, 10 on your side.
Our team coverage takes us now to Virginia Beach. 10 on your side's Jason Marks has been there since the snow started falling this afternoon.
How's it look now, Jason?
Well, Tom, it really is a mixed bag. I mean, take a look at Independence Boulevard, and you can see a lot of that slush. We've seen crews treating this road throughout the night, and it's starting to break up that ice. But really, there are some slick spots, but it is a lot better than it was just a couple hours ago.
By the time the snow tapered off in Virginia Beach, the damage had already been done.
I think it's getting pretty dangerous out here.
The streets were left covered, making for a messy afternoon commute.
I saw an accident on Greenwich Road.
Almost all one-car accidents.
Actually saw an ambulance pulled off the road. I think they hit a sign. Saw another car off in the ditch on Greenwich Road.
People just not taking it slow and running into stuff.
10 on your side found this wreck on Independence Boulevard that backed up traffic.
I came from downtown Norfolk. I was sliding a little bit there. Once I got into Virginia Beach, it was a little bit better, but I think it's more us in Virginia Beach not knowing how to drive than the actual conditions.
Public Works crews hit the streets laying down a sand-salt mixture. Crews will work throughout the night looking for slick spots.
Oh my gosh, it's been nonstop phone calls.
Inside Taylor's Do-It Center in Fairfield, customers made that dash to buy shovels, salt, and scrapers. By 8 o'clock, they were all gone.
This was full completely top to bottom with cases of fire logs. I have no more starters left. I have a few logs left.
A new shipment comes in first thing tomorrow, but that too isn't expected to last long.
We have a big storm coming again Wednesday night, so we'll be ready.
It took me an hour and 20 minutes to get here from work, from Suffolk.
Monty Pearson had to make one last stop before home with the kids in mind.
I really just got groceries for the next 2 days and stuff for the kids to cook at home in case I had to go to work because they're going to be stuck at home for a while again.
And you heard Don's forecast. It could be a while. But take a look at the streets one more time. We're told crews will be working throughout the overnight hours looking for those slick spots for your morning commute. One other note here in Virginia Beach, schools are canceled for tomorrow. We're live in Virginia Beach. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.